Hello, good evening, good morning, good day to you. Okay, so please confirm if you can see my screen. You're welcome. You're welcome. So you can use the in chat messages to. Okay, okay. I need to reshare this. Oh, beautiful. So my screen is showing now. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. My name is YemiSolves, and I'm very happy to have you here. Please, while kindly share this link with your friends, with other learners. We are starting right away. And sorry for the late start. I think we are 4 minutes late already. So let us start right away. We have a lot to cover, and we have to cover it in less than an hour. So in this tutorial, I want to be showing you how to use the Nexford Student Library and how to use Google Scholar. This is something that is very important, and that is why I am having this tutorial with us. Okay, so I know that while I'll be showing us some of these things, you probably would have questions. Okay, so just type in your questions in the comment section. So type in your questions in the comment section. All right, and I will get to the questions as soon as I'm done. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first thing is, how do you access the Nexford library? How do you access the lecture library? But before I go to how to access the lecture library, it's very important for me to say the relevance of knowing how to use the NXU library. It is important because in an academic environment like ours in Nexford, you are expected to do research and write. And when you're writing, in academic writing, there are rules, there are policies, or should I call it, there's an academic writing standard that you must understand and you must follow. Okay. One of these rules is you should reference credible sources. Okay. You should reference credible sources. When you're writing academically, it is believed that your ideas, recommendations, or whatever it is that you are putting together, opinions, ideas, recommendations, are not originally yours. And it is believed that you got those ideas, those opinions, or those facts from somebody else. And as a result, you're expected to point the reader's attention to that other person from whom you got this idea originally, because it is research. Okay, research means you go out and find information, then writing. So research comes first before the writing. So you do research and then you do writing. So that's the order. I research and then write. I research, I write. So that means the writing is from the research, not the other way around. Okay, the writing is from the research. So it is believed that you are writing based on what you researched. In that case, you should reference the persons from whom you got ideas from, or information or fact from. And just as you know, there are standards to doing that also. There's a standard, rather, there's a standard to how that should be done. Okay, so we have different writing styles, we have different referencing styles, citation styles. Okay, but in Nexford, you are to use the APA 7th edition style, which is the American Psychological Association, the 7th edition. Okay, now I have another training that we've done a couple of, I think, 2 months back, 2 months ago, where I explained how to use the how to reference in accordance with the APA 7th edition. All right, good. Now, this Nexford library has lots and lots of credible sources, not just any form of credible sources, but scholarly sources. Of course, it has some non-scholarly sources too, but mostly scholarly sources. Billions, hundreds of billions of pages of scholarly sources are on the Nexford library. Okay, and you're expected to cite and reference scholarly sources. As a matter of fact, you should cite and reference only scholarly sources. Okay, but it is understandable that you will definitely find materials or information from other sources that are not necessarily scholarly. For instance, you could find an information on YouTube, or find on a podcast, or find on a blog, or find on a news daily. Okay, and then and that information is relevant to what you are writing on or what you researched on, and then you want to cite and reference that information. However, if you are going to be in academic writing, if at all you use non-scholarly sources, it should not be more than scholarly sources. You should do minimum of 80% of scholarly sources in your materials. Okay, and as you must have noticed, it's part of the rubric. I think it takes about 20 marks or 15 marks depending on the assignment. So if you do not use scholarly sources, some lecturers will grade you low because of that. Okay, so there are several platforms where you can find, several databases where you can find these sources. Okay, one of them is the NXU library. The NXU library is very resourceful. Okay, and it is because of this particular advantage. So it is because of this particular advantage that many people find it challenging or difficult to use. Okay, so because it is resourceful, there are, like I said, hundreds of billions of pages. So many people find it very difficult to find those materials that they need for their search, or for their research rather. Okay, so what I will be teaching you is, I'll be teaching you how to find the specific information that you need, or the specific set of materials that you need on this library. Okay, so it is just like a big library, right? So like multi-story physical library, but this time around it is digital. Do you understand? How? So the skill to using this library is to know how to find that information that you're looking for. Same with Google Scholar. Okay. Now, so I was about to tell you how to access the library. Okay. So this is your Nexford canvas, for instance. This is your Nexford canvas. And then if you want to access the library, you just need to come to this this side. I don't know if you can see it just on the menu. I think my face is covering it on the screen. Okay, so you can see my cursor hovering around this library just on the left side menu of your Nexford canvas. And then when you click it, it automatically opens this page. It opens this page that you can see here. Okay, so first thing, what you need to know is that there are many things I could teach us about using this library. Okay, but I will be ultra focused on just a specific approach, or a specific set of approaches. That's the word. Specific set of maybe step by step approaches to go about using this library. So I will not be saying some things, I'll be focusing on some things. My goal here is, I want you to understand this. Like, after this training, you should be able to use an Excel library. That's the goal. Okay. Now, when you get to the library, you see that there is alphabetical view, there is subject view, there is vendor view, and then there is tools. What you want to do first is to click on this vendor view. Okay. Basically, it is just a form of filtering. Okay. So alphabetical view, we filter it alphabetically. Subject view, we filter it topically, while vendor view, we filter it based on database. Okay. So there are, I think, more than 20 databases here. Okay. So the database that you want to use is ProQuest. ProQuest. So you can use other databases, okay, but I'll be using ProQuest because ProQuest is like the master library or the master database. Do you understand? So you can scroll down. When you scroll down, you will see the ProQuest section. So we have the ebook central, we have the entrepreneurship database, and then we have the ProQuest central. So what we'll be using is the ProQuest central. When you hover your cursor on it, you will see it is the ultimate cross-disciplinary research tool. ProQuest Central brings together 30 of our most highly used databases to create the largest single academic research resource available today. And that is why we're using ProQuest Central, because it is the largest. Okay. Now, when I click this ProQuest Central, it will bring me here. It will bring me here. Okay, so this is the ProQuest Central. This is how it looks. All right. At your leisure, you could read through this, tinker with this, and then just have fun. But let's go straight to the point. I was saying something initially that the advantage of using the NXT library is what is also what became disadvantage. So the advantage is the disadvantage. It's more or less like strength and weakness. The strength is the weakness. The reason why the library is useful is the same reason why people find it difficult to use. Okay, very ironic, right? So there are lots of resources here, billions of resources actually. Yes, like hundreds of billions of pages. I mean it. Okay. So, and that made it more difficult, I mean, very difficult or very challenging for people to find what they need. And I believe that is why you've been finding it difficult to use the library in the first place, because it's not making sense. You're trying to find something and then you're not finding the thing. And then you're like, okay, so what this training is about is to show you, to help you grasp the art of keyword research on this keyword search rather on this platform. So basically what we're doing is keyword search. Okay. So how do you, using keywords, find that particular resource that will be beneficial for your academic writing, maybe for your assignment, for your papers, whatever. Okay, how do you find those body of information that you will find useful, relevant enough to cite and reference? Okay, in finding them, you need to master keyword search for on this database, on this ProQuest. Okay, and that's what I'll be showing you how to do. Now, here you will see that there are about 5 menus here. So we have basic search, we have advanced search, we have publications, we have browse, and we have change databases. Okay, you are primarily concerned with just two: basic search and advanced search. So let us try with basic search and then we'll pick it up to advanced search. Okay. Now, so when you're searching online, okay, naturally or according to academic standard, research standard, when you want to do a research or you want to write an academic material, the first step is to find a research topic. Okay. And then the next step is to come up with a research question. So ideally, your keywords should be based on your research question. For those who did foundation program in the MBA, in the Nexford MBA, you will remember that in the US 5004, this was taught extensively. I think it was module 4 of 5004. It was taught extensively, the process of proper academic research. But I also understand that not many of us knows, not many of us know or have an idea of what this is and practice it, not talk of practicing it in the first place. Okay. So I won't be bothering us with that. But ideally, you should have a research question and then you curate your keywords from the research question. Okay. But if you do not have a research question, you definitely have topics, right? So let's say, for instance, one of the assignments in 5004 is a pestle analysis assignment. So you're told to do a pestle analysis on a Fortune 500 company. Okay. So you know that at the back of your mind, you know that you want to write pestle on, let's say, Coca-Cola. So you want to write about Coca-Cola and then you want to write a pestle analysis of Coca-Cola, right? So naturally, you know that your keywords will be Coca-Cola pestle analysis. Okay. So that's a simple topic that translates into a simple set of keywords. Okay. Now there are topics that are even that are not as simple as that. Okay. But the first thing is keywords. You want to find your keywords. Now, before going to how to search those keywords on ProQuest, let me quickly give you a brief guide. Okay. When you're searching for keywords, now please, I need us to listen very carefully. Okay. The major reason why research is cumbersome for many people is because you input a keyword and then you don't find what you're looking for. And then you try it again and again and again, and then you got tired. Am I right? You want to search for something, you put the keywords there, and then you put something there, and then the result on the first page, second page, you're not seeing it, you're not finding it. As a matter of fact, you've gone, you've opened those results, read through them, and then you're like, okay, you felt disappointed and frustrated, okay, just because of you could not find, you could not use, you could not get you could not find just you could not find what you're looking for. And the reason why you cannot find what you're looking for is because you are not using the right keywords. Okay, so that's why I'm spending time on keywords right now. Okay, so oftentimes when you put the first set of keywords, you want you may not get what you're looking for or what you need. So there are times that what you need is to tweak those words. One way is to use synonyms. For instance, now, a couple of weeks ago, I was having a tutorial and then I was explaining that, okay, you can search for something online. So it has to do with organizational structure. Organizational structure. Okay, so the person needed the organogram of a company, that chart, organizational chart of a company. Okay, so ideally it is called organizational structure. But when you put organizational structure online, you will not find the chart. You will not find the chart of the organizational structure of Amazon when you put organizational structure of Amazon online. But if you change it to organogram, you'll find what you're looking for. Okay, you find what you're looking for. Or if you change it to organizational chart, you'll find what you're looking for in the first page. Okay, same with opposites. There are times that maybe you're like looking for strengths of something, and then you're not finding the strength, you can just find weaknesses. Okay, it sounds ironic, but yeah, sometimes it works. Okay, yeah, so you can use the opposites to find the other side of what you're looking for. Good. Now there are things you should avoid, and that's what many of us use most of the time. Okay, we oftentimes use relationship words like compare, contrast, correlation, causation, relationship, because these are common and very abstract words. There are many materials online that use these words: compare, contrast, correlation, causation, relationship. And of course, you won't find what you're looking for, except if you're lucky. Do you understand? So you want to avoid this. Okay. The second is avoid judgment words. Words like best, worst, pro, con, advantages, disadvantages. Okay, you want to avoid them because they are abstract words, they are common words. There are many materials that use best, worst, pro, con, advantages, disadvantages. Other words include benefits, benefits of this or that, right? So you want to avoid that. Now, when I say avoid, it is also not absolute, okay, because there is something else about keyword search that I'll be teaching us, okay, and it's called Boolean. Okay, so now don't let this bamboozle you or something. It's quite simple, right? Because there are times that when you use Boolean, you are able to maybe mix. It's just like you're cooking words. Okay, so you're cooking the words or you're mixing it, and then so that you can get what you're looking for, right? So you can get the materials that you need. Okay, so enough of preamble. So let's go straight to how to use this ProQuest Central. So I have an example. Let us say that I want to search pestle analysis. I want to write a material, and the paper is on, maybe it's a narrative report on Amazon's pestle analysis. Okay, narrative report on Amazon's pestle analysis. Okay, so I'm using something simple. Okay, I don't want to use something complex because it will take time for me to explain and all. So let's say I want to find something on Amazon's pestle analysis. Okay, I can use now. So this is Amazon's pestle analysis. Pestle analysis. Okay. My keywords could include Amazon. Okay. Pestle. Then pestle. So we have pestle and then we have pestle. Okay. All right. It's the same thing. Okay. Analysis. Now you notice something. All these keywords are generic keywords. Okay. Analysis is one of the keywords I want to avoid, but I do also want to avoid it entirely, because if I mix it with another word, I could get what I'm looking for. So I could have something like pestle analysis, right? I could have something like this. I could have something like, now if I use Amazon alone, there is Amazon in where is it now? Which continent now? Is it South Asia or something? I think, is it Brazil or South Asia? I can't remember now. So there's an Amazon which is a location. Okay, so Amazon is not the only Amazon that exists. Okay, so if I just use Amazon now, if I say Amazon Incorporated, makes more sense, right? Or I say Amazon Company. Okay. Okay, so that makes more sense. That's better. The analysis, I've changed it to pestle analysis. Okay. So what I'm simply doing now is I'm refining my keyword. Okay, so this is it. When you are doing the actual research, all these things will happen in your brain. Like, you don't even need to write them down. It's your brain that the calculation will be happening, the permutation and calculation will be happening. Okay, oh, let me try Amazon Incorporated. Oh, let me try Amazon Company. Oh, let me try pestle analysis. Okay, the keyword is the backbone of this, actually, just the keywords. Okay, so let's go back to ProQuest. Let me do Amazon Incorporated. Okay. Now, on this search bar, you see there's, under the search bar, you see there's full text and then there's peer reviewed. Okay. Now, peer reviewed journals are more credible journals because other scholars have reviewed the journals. They've checked the credibility of the journal. So that's why they are more credible. So there are times that you want to select peer reviewed. Okay. Now, if you do not, if you do not select full text and peer reviewed, what happens is that you have it will give you more results. Okay, so let me show you that. So let's search for just Amazon Incorporated. Okay, so I'm logged out. I'm logged out, so let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again quickly. Open the library. Let me close this guy. Open the library, go to vendor view, then scroll down, go to ProQuest Central. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so let's search for Amazon Incorporated. Aha. So in fact, I could do Amazon.com Incorporated, but let's just search this. Beautiful. So I have 2,351,909 results. Okay. So let's go back. This is what I want to show you. Okay. So Amazon Incorporated. So let me select full text and peer reviewed and search. So if I select full text, it will filter it down to articles that have the full text that I can view or access, that the full text is accessible. Okay, because naturally you want to read through the material and see, before you can judge if this material is useful or not. Okay, there are times that for some materials, just from the topic, you can judge if it is useful or relevant, if it is useful, relevant or not. Okay, but there are times that you need to open the material, read through the abstract to know if it is relevant or not. Do you understand? Good. So now, when I come here, just to the left side of the page, you can see other filtering options or filter options. Okay, I can remove this full text. I can uncheck peer reviewed. Okay, and I can decide to say, oh, I just want scholarly journals. Okay, so I can either include or exclude. Now, because what you need are scholarly journals, so you want to include scholarly journals and you want to exclude these other guys. But there are times that maybe, for instance, you are writing on accounting. Okay, so you might need trade journals this time around. Okay, yeah, and then apply. So depending on what you need, you can filter in or filter out. And I can tell you for a fact, if you get this and then you try your hands and then you just try this out, you can find what you're looking for in about 30 minutes or less. Okay, in about 30 minutes or less, you can find what you're looking for. Good. So now I have excluded the other journals and then included scholarly journals. Okay, so it's giving me 44,000 results now that are peer reviewed but not full text. So let's go back to full text. So now I have 39,000 results. Okay, I'll come back here and then I'll go back to the keyword search. But there's something I want to quickly show us about the settings so that I don't have to come back here, to explain this part again. The other thing about what we're doing or about academic writing standard is recency. Okay, if you're going to be citing or referencing a source, you should cite or reference a source that is not more than 5 years to the time of your writing. Okay, as a matter of fact, in some environments, in some schools, they say 3 years. Okay, I think I've seen comments from some lecturers that said 3 years actually, but it's actually between 3 to 5 years. Okay, so 5 years is the safe period. Okay, so 5 years ago is 2019. Okay, so you should only cite and reference materials between 2019 and 2024. The moment you enter 2025, then it's between 2020 and 2025. The moment you enter 2026, then it's between 2021 and 2026. You get the gist, okay? So now I can come here and filter the date. Okay, I can filter the date. It's very important. I can filter the date. So this is through 2019. I can actually enter the date range from 2019, 2019 January, I just saying January 1st to today. Okay, let's select the right one. Okay, I don't think I selected. Okay, and then let's update it. Now I have 19,000 results. Okay, so it's either you okay, sorry. So I have 2019 to 2024. So it gives me only results that are recent, that are the most recent, 5 years recent. Okay. So you can play around these filters to find exactly what you're looking for. Okay. Sometimes you can filter out through publication titles, document types, subjects, location, person, language, database. Okay. Oftentimes you do not need all of these other filters. Okay, the most important filters that you need are the full text, peer reviewed, scholarly journals, and year filter. Okay, those are the most important ones that you need. So now that that part is settled, let's go back to the search. Okay, so there's something I was saying about search. Okay, so I was telling us about the Boolean search uh, approach. So we have, so there's a way. Our example is Amazon pestle analysis, right? Good. Amazon pestle analysis. I am looking for information about the pestle analysis of Amazon company. Okay. And I have permutated these four potential or potentially relevant keywords. I have Amazon Incorporated, Amazon Company, personal analysis, personal analysis. Now let's play around these four things, four keywords, and see what happens. Okay. Now in playing around these keywords, okay, I can use what is known as the advanced search. Okay. But even the Boolean, I can do something else, which I will come back to here. So let's go to the advanced search. So when I click the advanced search, it opens this interface. Okay. And then here you have and or not. Okay. So what it means is that if I want Amazon Incorporated, which is what I need, I'm looking for, right? And I also want Pestel. So what it means is that find me information that has both Amazon and personal analysis. And as you can see, it even gives you search suggestions. Okay. So sometimes when you don't even know, you're yet to decide, the keywords, this will give you suggestions that you can use. Okay. Then I can come here and select where. Okay. So I could say I want Amazon Incorporated anywhere, or I want it except full text, and then I can choose anything. Okay. Now I want to choose company because I am looking for Amazon company. Do you understand? Then and personal analysis. This time around, I could choose anywhere. Okay. Then I could choose full text. So let's search and let's see what happens. Oh, publication date last so last 3 years. Let's do last 3 years, okay, because of time. So search. So let's see what happens. I'm hoping that we find information that gives us, so what we have. Let's open this and see what it's. So we had just one result. Can you see? Out of billions, millions of pages with highly specific or highly filtered search, it gave us one. Do you understand? So you could read this abstract, and based on this abstract, you could judge if this information, this material is going to be relevant to your search or not. As you must have noticed, some oftentimes the topic will not specifically indicate or specifically um, the keywords. The keywords may or may not be in the topic in the document title. Do you understand? So the keyword search the keyword search applies to both the title and it applies to both It applies to both the title and the search. Okay, think my network. Okay, it applies to both the title and the search. That's very important. So that's why sometimes the keyword will not be in the title, but it will definitely be in the text, in the full text. Okay, so we can go back. We can modify search here. Modify search. Modify search. So when I click on modify search, I'm able to come back here and let's say I choose this one anywhere. Okay, and then I search. So because of time, our time is fast spent. Okay, so far you know how to search, do basic search on ProQuest Central. Okay, we're back. Sorry for the break in transmission. So as I was saying, so now you know how to do basic search on ProQuest Central, and then you know how to do advanced search. Okay, so I want to modify this search and show you something. So you could see that if I change this to anywhere from company and then I search, it gives me more results. Okay, so basically you can tinker with this and then play around and then you find what you're looking for. All right. Now that you have found what you're looking for, so you found what you're looking for, the next thing is how do you copy the citation? How do you copy the references? So let's open this. This is the document we opened the other time. When you come here, now because you might need this material in the nearest future or maybe for another assignment. It is advisable for you to download the PDF. Okay, it's advisable that you download the PDF because you probably spend 5 minutes getting here, finding what you need. And what if you need it in another assignment? So you want to download it so that you can use it some other day. Okay. Now that that is done, the next thing is you can copy the URL. For those who are familiar with using Scribble or mybib.com to arrange your references, you can copy the URL. Okay, copy the URL and then paste it on mybib.com so that mybib.com can help you generate the references. All right. Another way is when you click on this site here, it gives you different referencing and citation styles that are available, applicable. So I can come here and then I switch it to APA 7th edition. All right. And then I can copy the citation, the references for it. Okay. Now, and then I can cite properly. Now that that is said, please don't forget to ask your questions. Please don't forget to ask your questions. Don't forget to ask your questions. I'm not seeing any question yet. So now that that is said, I need to quickly explain how to use Google Scholar and then I'll bring the two together. For Google Scholar, by the way, on the Nexford library itself, you can access Google Scholar. Do you see? These are open access resources. Okay, under the open access resources, you can access all of these. There's Eric. Eric is another open source database that is out there. Very amazing. So you can use Eric too. The same principle applies of basic search, advanced search, Boolean search, and all of that. Okay, so then another one is Google Scholar. Google Scholar is simpler. Okay, but sometimes there are things you wouldn't find on Google Scholar. Okay, and then you need to come here to find them. Do you understand? Okay, so but let's use Google Scholar. For those who are not familiar with Google Scholar, if you want to access Google Scholar, all you need to do is to go to scholar.google.com. It's just like Google search, but this time around it is for academic research. Okay, so it's just like Google search for academicians. That's what it is. Scholar.google.com. So when you go to scholar.google.com, as you can see, the interface is just like Google, but the difference is it has Scholar. Okay, so let's do that same Amazon search. So Amazon Incorporated Pestle Analysis. Amazon Incorporated Pestle Analysis, and then let's search. Beautiful. So I have Amazon.com Incorporated Strategic Audit. But what I want to do is that don't forget recency, very important. So I could do since 2020, or I could do custom range and say 2019, yeah, to 2024. And then I search so that it can feed me results from 2019 to 2024. Okay, so I've done that, and then I have this. So what I want to do is I want to open the ones that appeals to me. Okay, so for instance, Amazon's and the same principle applies. The other time I was explaining from ProQuest Central that when you search, it searches both the title and the text. Okay, so the keyword can either show in the title or show in the search. I'm sorry, or show in the full text. Okay, so it's either so it could be from the title or from the full text, from the contents, from the body of the material. Okay, so there are times that based on the title, you can tell that this is something I need. This is something that looks relevant. And then there are times that based on the preview here, you can also judge if it is relevant or not. And then there are times that you need to open the material, okay, and then read the abstract to be able to judge if it is relevant or not. Okay, and if you need to pull, the citation to harvest the references, the reference for that particular material, you just copy the link and then paste it on mybib.com, or Scribble, whichever one you use. Okay, and then you can also click on sites here, click on sites, and then copy APA. But this APA, okay, yeah, this is APA 7. Okay, so you copy the APA and then you use it in your material, whichever one. Okay. I am deliberately avoiding citation and referencing because of time. So I have a training already on how to cite and reference properly. So I want you to um, look, maybe visit that training. So I will drop the link for us in the chats. Okay, so I'm looking for the link and the drop is for host. Okay. Okay, I can't find the link yet. So let me just drop this. Okay. Um, yeah. So now that that is said, okay, the next thing that I need to explain to us is the use of quotations. Okay. I deliberately brought this, I deliberately made this the last thing because this is also something that will help, but it's quite simple. So I decided to cover the less simpler ones, okay, before before picking up on the simpler things. Okay. So you already know how to access the NXT library. You already know how to use ProQuest Central, both the basic search and the advanced search. Then you already know about keyword search. Okay. Then you already know about Boolean. Okay. I only did and, or you can do or, you can do not. Not is if you don't want that word to show. Okay. Or is if you want one, either this one or that one. And is if you want both. Do you understand? Now, what about quotes? So let me show you something. Here I searched for Amazon Incorporated and I searched for pestle analysis. But you can see in the search results, it is showing me results, showing me any material that has Amazon or pestle analysis. Okay. So what if I don't want that? What if what I want is I want pestle analysis together? So don't show me a material that has just pestle standing alone or analysis sitting alone. I want pestle and analysis to be together in the material. Okay, so how do I do that? I do that using quotation marks. Okay, so let's do quotation now. So let me quote this and quote this. So let's say I want the same thing for this guy. So I quote it also, and then I search. So you will see the changes. So it will give me only it does not exist. Okay, so let me remove this boolean whatever. Okay, let me remove full text and peer reviewed. And let me increase the number of years or dates. Okay, and let's do it again. Oh, wait, sorry. There's something I did too. Okay, it's showing me something, but let me go back and modify the search. Hmm, delete this. And then I make this just analysis. Then search. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so I have two results. Now, as you can see, it's only gave me results, materials that have pestle analysis together, Amazon Incorporated together. Do you understand? This same thing, you can do it also on Google Scholar. So I could say Amazon Incorporated, Amazon Incorporated, and pestle analysis. Okay, and then I search. Can you see the same thing? The same thing. So this is another way to filter. Okay. In fact, there are times that when you are searching, you will not even use this boolean, whatever. Okay. Like I said, I started from the complex ones to the simple ones. There are times that you don't need to be using boolean and or not. Okay. And then you find what you're looking for just by using quoted marks or just by using synonyms, opposites, and quoted marks. Okay. So there are times that all you need is the quotation, the synonyms, and then the quoted marks. Okay, there are times like that. Okay, there are times like that. Very important. Very important. Okay, so I think I should just stop here and then see if I can use the remaining 7 minutes to attend to questions. Hello, are you still there? Do you have questions for me? Do you have questions for me? Please type in your questions on the comment section. Please type your questions. Okay. So while I wait for questions, all right, um, two things. I already have a training on citation and referencing, okay, and it is on my tutorial group. I have dropped the link to my tutorial group in the comments, so please join the tutorial group, okay. And secondly, is that this particular document that I'm using for this training, I have made it accessible, okay. So I have made it accessible. Okay, it's just like a simple guide. So I've made it accessible so you can open it and then you can just use it, maybe follow through when you are watching this particular video. Okay. And since I am not seeing any question, if you have questions for me, maybe I want to encourage you to try this out. Okay. Use the Nexford library. You will enjoy it. As you can see, there are a lot of materials here, lots of them. Okay, and by the way, Nexford is paying for this because LIRN, that's the LIRN, that's Library Information Resources Network, it's an establishment. Okay, so Nexford is paying subscription to these guys so that they can make this information, they can make this library accessible to you. So I want to advise you and encourage you. You paid for it, so use it. Okay, use it, learn to use it. Okay, there are many things you can find there. You can find documents about your companies, your businesses that does not even pertain to your research or assignments. Okay, there are a lot of materials here on several subjects, medical, a whole lot. Okay, so I want to advise you to learn how to use it. It will help a lot. Okay, then secondly, if you have questions, so if you have questions, maybe while you're trying this out, ask on the tutorial group. So I want to encourage you also to join the tutorial group and ask your questions there, because time has gone. I don't think I can attend to questions again. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Okay. That's beautiful. So please try it. Okay. Go to vendor view. Okay. All right. Go to vendor view, go to ProQuest Central, do basic search first, and then you can do advanced search. Okay. On basic search, you can either use quotations or you use synonyms, antonyms. Okay. Just do the permutation and combination. The keyword is important. That's why I spent time explaining the keywords. Okay, it's very important. So you can just do that in your head, and in 30 minutes or less, you will find what you're looking for. Okay, and then you cite and reference properly. You're done. Okay, you're done. You're done. Thank you very much, everybody. You should accept cookies. Okay, but if you have the options because of cybersecurity and because of cyber crime and all, you can. There are some cookies that allow you to select just the essential cookies and deselect the other cookies. Okay, but oftentimes you can also reject. Okay, if you do not trust the website, reject the cookies. Okay, if you do not trust the website, reject the cookies. But if it's a website like this, accept the cookies. A website that you know that, okay, this is a good website, you accept the cookies. But website that you don't trust, or website that you don't want them to be tracking you, you reject the cookies. But there are some websites that if you don't accept the cookies, they will not allow you to use it. Okay, so it depends on how do you really need it. So if you think you really need that information, then you don't have any choice but to accept. Okay, yeah. Okay, so all right, beautiful. So thank you very much. So this same YouTube link is how to access the recorded file. So it is on YouTube. You can just come back here. This same YouTube link that you are seeing. Okay, yeah, that is the recorded video file. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. Ask your questions on the tutorial group. Join the tutorial group. I have dropped the link. Let me drop the link again. Um, so join. Let me drop the link again. So join and see you there. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.